Hi there. So, we're going to do a tea tasting today, but a little bit different. I've had a request for a close-up whisper tea tasting. So, a lot will happen off camera. I hope you're okay with that. I will try to show you what I can. So, you'll hear some sounds and you can just imagine what they are. So, what we're going to start off with is I'm going to start brewing one of my favorite new teas. So this is a peach oolong from Adagio. These are all Adagio teas today because that's my current obsession. Sure, it will not be forever, but right now I'm having fun trying all different kinds of Adagio teas. So I am going to brew this up. But first, I wanted to show you what the tea looks like because it's beautiful. And the first thing I wanted to show you, I don't know if I've ever shown this on camera. Let's see if you can see it. This is something I got in a subscription box. I don't think you're going to be able to read it. Oh, yeah, there we go. So it says, "Love you to the spoon and back." And I've had it for a long time. It's very, very heavy. It's a very solid tea spoon, and I didn't really know what to do with it for a very long time until I got obsessed with tea. I wanted to keep it because I Love You to the Moon and Back is a book that we used to read to my son, and it's very sweet and nostalgic. Now that he's big, he turns 12 tomorrow. But it's not the most practical actual spoon to use. So we're going to start with this peach oolong. Let's see if I can show it to you without pouring tea all over. Let's see, if I get it close, it'll probably eventually adjust. Maybe, maybe not. So I think you can kind of see, there we go, the goodness in there. I'm going to actually put a little more than 1 scoop in there. 1 scoop and a half, because I'm using my big teapot. I apologize. Whispering is a bit of a challenge for me. I forget and I switch into soft speaking. So I'm using this big teapot. So about 3 teaspoons. Probably a lot of people would say that's not enough, but that's what I do, and then I tend to steep it a little bit longer. Maybe it's just because I'm trying to be kind of frugal with my tea. I'm sorry if the noise of my thermos was a little loud. It's the only time I will do that during the video. Let me tell you a little bit about this tea. I love it. So, first of all, this is one that I will steep probably 3 pots of that today with the same leaves. And after 3, it tends to lose most of its tea flavor. It's just still kind of peachy, which isn't really bad at the end of the day, especially if I wanted to kind of add some sugar to it. It would probably be kind of a nice iced tea kind of flavor, but so far I've stopped at 3. So this is 1 teaspoon per cup, and you're going to brew it for 3 minutes. I will probably brew it for closer to 5. And it has oolong tea, natural peach flavor, apple pieces, marigold leaves, and peach pieces. I just ordered more of this. As much as I am trying to sip down, I'm actually doing a really good job sipping down. So I love this tea. I don't think I can be without it. So I bought some of that. And the first one I'm going to sip is, it's funny because the order of these is a little weird because it usually goes from light to dark. But I'm going to start with the herbal. Actually, maybe I won't, because the herbal that I have picked is a chaga chai. Let's see. So chais are so flavorful with the spices that I think I'm going to actually do my black tea first, then the peach, then the chaga chai. So my black tea for today is Black Forest Cake. Let me show you some of this tea. I have actually been drinking this all morning. This is a nice tea. Let's pour some in this bowl. Okay. See how much of a mess I make trying to pour it back. So let's see if you can see that. Keeps shifting down. So it looks mostly like a black tea, but there are little chocolate chip pieces. So this smells amazing. It smells like cherries and chocolate and just everything you want to have for dessert. When it is steeped, it does not really smell like cherries anymore, but it smells like chocolate. So this has, I did not bring my glasses, so this has black tea, cocoa nibs, natural chocolate flavor, dark chocolate chips, that's what you can usually see in there, cherries, natural wild cherry flavor, natural cream flavor. They add cream to a lot of these. I'm not sure what the cream flavor really adds. But again, I've been drinking this all day, so it's in my little tumbler, but it's mostly empty. I'm not going to drink much of this right now because I'm going to need to pour some of my peach oolong very shortly. So this is definitely a burnt caramel, if not darker. I want to look at my tea color chart. So this may be more of a teak. This is almost a teak. It's somewhere between a burnt caramel and a teak. It actually may almost be builders. Okay, so it's I would say it's close to a builder's color, because especially if I poured a whole cup of this, it would be even darker. It wouldn't actually be darker, but it would appear darker. So you only get the chocolate and the tea flavor, smell, aroma. There we go. That's the word. The taste is a really nice chocolatey black tea. I steeped this a little bit longer, as I always do. So this called for 3 minutes, and I'm sure I steeped it for closer to 4 or 5. Again, with these Adagio teas, sometimes I'm buying these desserty ones, wanting to have them taste sweet, and then I'm disappointed. But now that I've realized not to expect that, and just to expect, like, this is just going to be a black tea with a little bit of flavoring to it, I'm liking it much more. So this is one that I actually looked up to see if they had a decaf version, because I really do want some decaf. Because I try to switch to decaf at about 2 in the afternoon, and I just don't have a lot of variety. And actually, it's funny because it's after 2 in the afternoon that I really have most of the time to drink tea. I drink tea early in the morning, but I kind of have my go-tos. I have my English breakfast. I'm now adding matcha to that. And so what I am doing is I am pouring the rest of this peach oolong into a much bigger cup, because I want it to stop steeping, especially if I'm going to re-steep this. So I just poured it into here, and I'm going to set that aside because I will drink that after this video. And here we have, so this is I would say a caramel, not a burnt caramel, just a plain old caramel. It's not terribly dark. Oolong is fermented. So let me get my peach oolong again. So I didn't smell this before I showed it to you. I don't think I read the ingredients either. The peach aroma is so nice. So good. So good. So this has oolong tea. Actually, I think I did read it. No, natural peach flavor, apple pieces, marigold flowers, and peach pieces. Nice light color. I will steep it a little bit longer when I do my second and third steeps, but only about a minute each steep. So I am very impressed with Adagio Tea's fruit flavors. There was one I had that was pomegranate that tasted very synthetic to me, but pomegranate's a weird flavor anyway. This one smells peachy, right in the cup. I have realized with some of these dessertier ones, a big part of the appeal is the scent. So, like with the Black Forest cake, I don't get the cherry taste, but I do smell it a little bit when I have a cup sitting next to me. I have a table that's right next to my couch, and it's usually where I sit and drink tea, and so the tea is pretty much right next to my face, and I can smell it, and it's delicious. The peach flavor of this is fabulous. Peach is a flavor I really like, but I like this in the black tea because I don't like a cloyingly sweet peach. I recently ordered, my son is really getting into iced teas, and I think that's a nice switch for him because he's getting to the age where he maybe wants soda, but I can talk to him about why soda's really bad for him, but his friends are drinking soda, so he wants something to drink, and he really likes iced tea. So I am splurging a little bit on good iced teas for him. So right now I have a blue mango that he loves, and then you can add lemon juice to it so it turns purple, and I let him use some sweetener in it. He loves it. But I'm thinking of there's a peach Bellini. That sounds wonderful. So we'll see if I like it with a little bit of sweetener. There's a lot of these that are really good with sweetener, but I don't love sweetened tea. The part of the appeal of tea is that it's not sweet and that it's not sugary and extra calories, and it kind of defeats the purpose if I'm pouring a whole bunch of sugar or honey or maple syrup into it. But there are some that really just aren't very good without it. So those are nice, and I will sweeten them, but I probably won't buy them again. The ones that I will buy are the ones that stand alone, like this peach oolong. Plus, this one's really economical because I'm going to get 3 pots or more out of this. I am loving this. This is making me happy. So, it is about 70 degrees here in the middle of November. It's okay. It will be down to 50 tomorrow, but where I live, it is nice to have these nice warm days. I will take them any day. They get me through the winter. I grew up in New England, where it was very cold for many months, and it is so nice now to have really only 2 months that are cold, and they're not that cold. I've just got, my blood has thinned. So that is lovely. I am going to end with Chaga Chai. So chaga is a mushroom. Sounds kind of weird. It's actually delicious. I'm glad to do this one because I feel like I'm often doing, because I was doing sips down, and so it was often stuff that had been in my store for a while, and the reason it had been in my store is I didn't love it. So I felt like I did a lot of videos where it was like, this is meh. I really like all of these. So chaga chai, cinnamon, ginger, all the delicious chai flavors. Doesn't smell very, you don't smell mushroom at all. Let me pour some of this out. So let's see if you can see that. There we go. It decided to focus. That's nice. So it's got big pieces of stuff. Like, I don't know what that is. I think it's coconut, but that doesn't make any sense, does it? I don't know. Let me read the ingredients. So this is 1 teaspoon per cup. I already made a small pot of this. You're supposed to brew it for 7 minutes, which I did. I set a timer, so I actually steeped it the right amount for a change. This has rooibos tea, not usually my favorite. Cinnamon, chaga, coconut. It does have coconut. Look at me. Cardamom and cloves. So it does have ginger, and it's like the second ingredient, which does not always bode well, but I really don't mind it. So I don't like super gingery drinks because I feel like I want to add sugar to them all the time. I feel like they're delicious with sugar, but as I mentioned, don't always want my tea with sugar. So this is probably the one that packs the biggest punch in terms of flavor. Again, we probably have a burnt caramel there. It's not quite as dark as the last one. Cinnamon. And almost, you do get a little bit of like mushroomy, forest floor kind of smell to it. Interesting. I think it helps mellow out the ginger a lot. So there is ginger, but it's not that overly spicy ginger where I feel like I need to make it sugary to make it palatable. It's definitely there, but it's really well blended. So I think the rooibos actually makes it a little bit sweeter to begin with, so it maybe dulls down the super spicy ginger. The chaga, I would love to try a chaga tea that's not chai, because I'm not a huge chai fan because of the ginger. Because I think the chaga is really adding this level of depth to this herbal tea. Again, this is no caffeine. The peach oolong is probably high caffeine. It doesn't say on here. The Black Forest cake is definitely high caffeine. This one is no caffeine. I actually made a pot of this for people who came over the other night, and it was a hit. So I would love to see if that depth of flavor translates well into other profiles, because it's one of the things I feel is often lacking in herbal teas, because rooibos gives it a sweet flavor, but it doesn't give it that kind of, I like the flavor of like wet leaves and dirt and that kind of tannic-y and astringent flavor of tea. And you're getting a little bit of that kind of dirt, moss flavor underneath. It just kind of gives it body. And then you're mostly tasting ginger and cinnamon. I don't taste the coconut. Maybe it adds some sweetness like the rooibos so that the ginger doesn't overpower everything. And that's a legit reason to add an ingredient to a tea. So I really enjoyed this. This is one I will often add milk to. I feel like chai does need milk. And I will often add some maple syrup. Again, that's one of the reasons why chai is not my favorite, because I do feel like it is definitely enhanced by milk and sugar, and that's not always what I want. So when I can be super picky in what I buy and what is around my house, this is not one I will probably repurchase, but my friends liked it, and I will happily drink the rest of this bag. It's one of the reasons I wanted to do this video, because all of these are running low, and I want to be able to finish them, and I didn't want to finish them until I made a video. So I hope you liked the up-close sort of whisper. I'm trying. I'm very bad at a whisper, but you got a little bit of whisper here and there. So I hope you liked it. Let me know if you prefer this to the regular soft-spoken tea tastings. I think half of you will like the whisper, half of you will prefer soft-spoken. So I'll probably go back and forth, but I may do, but if you guys do like the whisper, let me know, because I will then go back and forth and do more whispers. Since it's not natural for me, my tendency is soft-spoken. So if you love the whispers, I'll definitely cultivate it, probably get better at it. Okay. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you're enjoying these. I'm having so much fun with them, and it's nice to check in with you guys more often.